Hi everybody, Sticktodrum here. For those of you who really aren't familiar with me, Social Paintball was nice enough to let me have this video put up of my thoughts on Borg's death. Most of you by now already know that Danijel, Borg, killed himself on Wednesday night, and his funeral was Friday. And everybody in the paintball world, most people, are still mourning, coming to terms with that. And I myself, everybody at TechPB, especially Kitty also, are having not difficulty, but just quite a time coming to terms with it and accepting it and trying to deal with it going forward. And everyone at TechPB, especially the staff, the mods, had a special relationship with Borg. We were all friends. Everybody at TechPB worked their asses off to get him to the States for the games at CPX at Living Legends. And seeing that he's gone is a little bit different for me and for everybody at TechPB. And like I said, especially Kitty. She, as far as I knew, was his closest friend. And I can't imagine the pain that she's going through right now, especially not only having to deal with it personally, but spearheading the things for his memorial, for the memorial t-shirts and everything like that. And she's done an absolutely fabulous job with it, handling it personally, making sure that everything was done right and proper. And by the way, if you're interested in anything that I'm talking about, in the link below, there will be a link to the t-shirt store where you can buy Borg t-shirts, Borg Memorial t-shirts, and Kitty was the hand in designing them and putting that whole entire thing together, and I, as well as many other people, are extremely grateful for that. She did an amazing job. And once again, link below. Check them out if you're interested. 100%, that's all of the profits go to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's something that absolutely is important, and something that couldn't be a better cause given the circumstances. So keep that in mind and check it out if you feel so inclined to walk away with a t-shirt and a bit of a donation in Borg's name to help the people that are still alive that really do need help. And I would like to say this is a final goodbye to Danijel. Wolf put up a video saying goodbye to Borg, and it was a very beautiful video that he did, and it was really touching and inspiring, and I'm grateful for that. It's always wonderful to hear someone who is also quite prominent and intelligent and insightful in this world give his thoughts, and I feel also fortunate to maybe call Wolf a bit of a friend by now, and I'd like to thank him for that. It was really very good, and I'm glad he put it up there. Going forward, what happens whenever the issue of suicide comes up, and this is something that I really need to get off my chest that I feel needs to be said. There's a bit of a fallout in the forums on Facebook where the cloak of internet anonymity is at its strongest, and people feel the need, maybe, to say any and everything that they want, completely throwing out the window common courtesy, respect, and dignity, I guess, is probably something that they do disregard. And I've been reading a lot of it on PB Nation. Not so much a hit against PB Nation because they were courteous enough to clean that shit up. And you don't see a lot of it on TechPB because, as I said before, TechPB is a very special place when it comes to Borg. Everyone there is very affectionate towards Borg. So you probably won't release. That's not to say that people aren't thinking them, they just don't write them, which is appreciated. And of course on Facebook, where all gloves are off and everyone says everything the fuck they want. And it's this thing, like I said, every time the issue of suicide comes up, you find this, but especially when it's someone as well known as Borg or anybody that is popular amongst a lot of people. And it's the notion that those who elect to go with suicide are cowards. And it's been outright said, I've read it, that people have called Borg a coward for what he did. And I've seen people go so far as to say that they've lost all respect, and that everything that Borg has done in the past, every piece of humor and knowledge and insight and genuine grateful affection that he's expressed, is completely thrown out the window. It's completely discounted. It's null, because he killed himself. And truthfully, the people who say these things have every right to do so. That's what they think. If that's what they think, then that's perfectly fine for them. And they do absolutely have the right to say these things to any and everybody. That's the provision of free speech, and I support that. However, it seems to me that they are not the types of people that have the wherewithal to ask themselves first, should I say this? Can they say this? Of course they can. Like I said, everybody has the right to think what they think, and as far as having an opinion on that goes, it's a valid opinion. They're valid for having it. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. Do I think it's a noble opinion? Fuck no, I don't think it is at all. I think it's cold. I think it's disgusting. Well, maybe not disgusting to hold it, but I think it's certainly disgusting to express it in the way that it's being expressed. And ever so often, like I said, whenever suicide comes up, you will find these people that will call those who take their lives cowards. They'll call them selfish. They'll call them a whole bunch of things, and they will support their arguments with logical fallacies and a bunch of bullshit that doesn't usually hold any water. It's oftentimes a slew of personal experiences and opinions that don't apply to this context. And the biggest reason for that is that no one understood. Maybe a couple of people did understand Borg's situation. They didn't live with him. They didn't live around him. They didn't even live in his country. They live in the comfort of either the US, the UK, relatively cushy places where one doesn't have to worry about the things that Danijel had to worry about, where they wouldn't even come close to the situation that he was in. So they usually either consciously or unconsciously reject and dismiss the context of the situation. Now, am I glorifying or justifying suicide? No, I'm not. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do. I'm not saying it's a good thing to do. It's a shitty thing to do. Obviously, look at what the hell happened. It's never a good thing. But if one is going to say, and I've actually read this, that they lost all respect for Borg or anybody, simply because, well, not simply, but just because they felt that they had no other way out, then you're free to think that, but you're an asshole. You really are an asshole. If you're going to pop into an area during a time where people who admired somebody are grieving and mourning, where there are people who were his friends having an amazingly difficult time coming to terms with something, coming to terms with a loss, if you're going to go in there and actually spout off your bullshit to people who are having difficulty personally, emotionally, and hell, even professionally for some people, if you're going to do that, you're an asshole. Quite simply. You know what? Because when you go into somewhere and what are you going to do? It's essentially the online equivalent of walking into a funeral of a suicide victim and calling them a coward in front of their entire family and their friends. You wouldn't do that. Some people would. But you shouldn't. It's disgusting, it's inhuman, and there's not much anyone can really do about it besides ignore it. So, what am I trying to get at here? Well, to the people who do that, to the people who feel the need to shove their self-righteous bullshit opinions down everybody's throat, completely disregarding what's appropriate for the time. Fuck you, I think, is probably a good thing. A big old fuck you, considering I actually read somebody say, in reference to Borg and his suicide, fuck him. Yes, I did read that. I won't tell you who it was, because God knows what some of you people will do. But I did read that, and it disgusted me, and it angered me, but I got over it. And fortunately, on the paintball forums, a lot of the staff, it doesn't matter what forum, they've been doing a great job of removing this kind of nonsense and ignore it. Don't give them the time of day, these people. And if it's on Facebook, I don't know if you really know them. A lot of people have a lot of friends on Facebook that they aren't really friends with. If you just do what I do. You could do what I do. I unfriend them. I block them because I don't have the time for this. I don't think most people have the time for this nonsense. And I personally don't care to be at all in contact or associated with people as cold and as cruel and as disregarding as that. I think it's disgusting. I think it's unfair. So, everything else to say has been said by other people. Suicide is not good, obviously. And I personally will never say that it's a good way out. It is a way out. Because when you're starving and you're under that amount of stress and you have the kind of situation that some people have, it doesn't keep you in the normal place where you would normally function. Things don't seem as clear to you, and you're not as lucid. You don't have the wherewithal to think of what the best path to end the pain is. It's easy to stand back and say, there's always a way. It's easy to stand back and say that people shouldn't have done that. And it's easy to stand back and call somebody a coward and selfish. That's all very, very easy. And what's not easy is to swallow your self-righteousness and your pride and to try to be understanding of the human condition and the pain that people are able to feel and how frail the human mind actually can be. That is the difficult work that most people don't feel like putting in. And I think it's always good to try to prevent this thing going forward. I think it's always good to tell people and everybody to try to talk to people, to try to seek different avenues of recourse for your troubles. But when this thing does happen, and it will continue to happen, it's part of life. Don't be an asshole. Don't walk into a room of mourning people and shit in the middle of it and then expect everyone to appreciate your opinion. You know, no one's asking for your opinion. No one's soliciting your views on suicide and life. Just shut up. Keep it to yourself because no one fucking cares. And that's really all I have to say. I will absolutely miss Borg. He's not the first person I've known to commit suicide. And unfortunately, knowing the way life is may not be the last. Things sometimes suck in life, and oftentimes shit can't be avoided. But he will be greatly missed by me and by a lot of other people. He will absolutely be remembered by me and by a lot of other people. And once again, I'm appreciative for everything that Kitty's done, for everything that everybody's done, and for the affection that everyone's been showing. And that's it. I'm sorry he's gone. I'm absolutely sorry that he's gone. It sucks. And everyone will miss him greatly. He was an amazing person. So, I'm going to drink some Mountain Dew, and I will see you guys later. Take care. Be safe. Cheers. Hey, what's up, people? I landed here in Chicago. O'Hare. Yeah, baby. I am going to find Borg. I will get back to you when I find the guy. Woo. Hi, children. It's me again. I found Borg.
Hello, children.
Little children of Tech PB. Little children. So yeah, now we're waiting for Kitty.
Kitty!
She's gonna come from somewhere in this deserted area with tons and tons of anti...
She's always late.
Yeah, she's late and...
She likes this special treatment.
Exactly. Borg is wearing his Muppets jersey. Borg.